Greetings, my people, and God bless you. I'm trying to get a nice lighting here real quick. All right, there we go. That's a little better. It's sunny. Have the canopy on here. God bless you, everyone. Hope all is well, and hope I'm not covering the microphone. There we go. Okay, I think it's been. First of all, God bless you. I hope all is well with you guys. And I pray that whatever you put your mind to, that you would trust God to help you through whatever challenging aspirations and goals in life that you have. I pray that God will give you the will and the determination to accomplish it. I'm making a video today. This, of course, Mark Mega Master, which is sponsored by Three Angels Auto Group. And so we've just give you an update about last night. Sorry, the camera is shaking. I don't have my gimbal. My gimbal's in the house. Last night I decided to go ahead and put the engine in to the BMW. Now, this is the first time that I've actually put a 6-cylinder into a car. I took out the engine. Taking out the engine was a bit of a mental challenge, like I said before in the other video. It was a bit of a mental challenge, but it's interesting because it was a mental challenge because there were bolts that were hard to get. I keep on making the camera shake. There were bolts that were hard to get. And I just, the Holy Spirit just kept telling me not to give up. And of course, along with my prayers, I was always asking God to help me to get this thing done. I did not take a day off. Of course, Sabbath, I didn't work on the car, but I look back and I've worked on this car every day since I got it, since I got the engine. Because I believe that you should never leave something, or you should never stop doing something till you finish, because it's like the more you take breaks, I feel like the more you get complacent or lazy. Now, of course, I did take a break because I would go to work, come home, eat, chill out for a second, and I would get back to doing as much as I could on the car. So trying to just be diligent about it and getting the work done. Just my personal experience. I know the first time I put an engine in a car, I was actually very anxious because it had been my first time, and there was a lot of pressure because there was money involved. I took some of the taxes and I bought a car, and the engine was bad. I never thought in my life that I would be changing an engine out of a car, but I did that to the Volkswagen, and I got the engine changed. My neighbor helped me to just put the engine back in. I took the engine out, but putting the engine back in is always a challenge. And so I didn't know it was going to be that big of a challenge. I worked from 7 o'clock to almost 11 o'clock putting the engine in of the Volkswagen, and the thing that really helped was my neighbor coming to help at like around 10:30, 10:15 when he got back from work. Very nice guy. Because you kind of need two people. You need someone to maneuver the engine, and you need someone else to lower it with the engine hoist, which is actually that right there. So that worked out, and I thank God. So now, when I got this car, I thought that the car would only have maybe some maintenance issues, like maybe I needed to change the coil packs, or I need to add some engine oil additive to help with the knocking. But it ended up being a common problem with BMWs. I had the rod bearings that connect to the piston rods, and they usually fail because someone or the last owner doesn't take care of the car and do oil changes. Now, oil changes are not that hard to do on cars. You could actually do it in you just need ramps. You need to get on the car, loosen the bolt for the oil, drain the oil, tighten it back up, and put oil in there. But I guess, these days people are not that handy, and there's so many things going on in my mind. But anyway, I want to get to my major experience. Sometimes I would have a little bit of anxiousness because of the fear of not being able to do what I set out to do. Or maybe I put too much on my plate. Or maybe I'm like, this is too much for me, and, I don't want to spend more money, and so on and so forth. But the lessons I've learned on this second time is, even if you feel anxious or you feel a little scared, your feelings should not dictate your next step. Along with praying, you need to ask God to give you the will and the determination to finish out whatever you aspire to do. Us as humans, God has given us the mind to be able to do anything we put our mind to doing. And so it doesn't mean you're not going to be scared or anxious. That doesn't exist. Everybody that has taken risks, everybody that has been successful in life, if you hear their story, they've always taken risks that involve maybe all or nothing. And so when I got the other engine was actually an older engine, just a year behind. And it has some different components. So each time I saw a different component of the engine I bought, I was kind of like, oh, I hope this is not a roadblock. But God kept saying, just move forward. Call people that know about, the engines. People. I have a friend that works at BMW, or is very familiar with BMW cars. I have another friend, a Venice guy, Mauricio. He builds that car like it's nothing. He's an engineer, a very smart guy. And they gave advice. They're very precise on their advice and counseling. And we need each other in things, in any kind of venture that we're trying to do. We do need each other. We can't do anything alone. We ended up. I was able to put the engine in last night. I was able to drop it in, but I had issues marrying the engine to the transmission. I needed 4 hands, and I only had 2. So, thank God that my wife was willing to help me. It's interesting because my wife, a woman, women are feminine, and they don't want to get their hands dirty. They want to do girly stuff or woman stuff. But she was willing to come out and help me to lower and raise the hoist as I tried to maneuver the engine back into the engine, and we were able to do it within 10 to 15 minutes. And I really thank God for that. I thank God that I have her, because without her, at that time of the night, it was like around 9:30 or something. Without her at that time, I would not have ever been able to do it. So it goes to show that we always do need someone in life to... What is that? We always do need someone to assist us in life. Anyway, so this is just giving an update on the build right here, the engine swap, which is all I need to do now is just I've bolted the transmission and secured it in there. But all I need to do now is put the rest of the bolts in, move to the flywheel, which is in front of the car, underneath the car, and get that flywheel bolted on to the transmission. So yeah, so I mean, I'm just here, and God has been real good, and it's really blessing. So I've often thought, I would like to actually kind of start like a Three Angels, kind of a Adventist kind of mechanic little workshop for young people that want to learn. And maybe I'll do some videos. Of course, because of the COVID, you can't really go out. I mean, you can go out. I mean, but probably do some videos on how the main problem with the main issue with dealing with things like this. I'm trying to get some good lighting. There we go. The main issue with dealing with cars and things of this nature is the fear factor. I mean, if you had no fear, you would just do it. Even if you failed, you'd be like, whatever. But if you had no fear, you would just do it. But because we have fear, because fear is associated with everything that we do, if we are not experienced in having faith in God and trusting God and just doing what you have to do, fear can stop us from doing a lot of things that would have been successful if we had just tried. So just if I was to teach a class on, fixing a car or fixing anything at home, or, I would first talk about fear. And the Bible says, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That's number one. So when God tells us to do something or we're doing something, if we have fear, it is because we don't trust God enough. And what we need to do, the hope of it is, what we need to do is we need to go to God and ask Him, Lord, please take away this anxiety, take away this fear, give me the will and the determination to do what I need to do. I thank God because, I don't believe in spending money on doing everything. I mean, spending money, I don't believe in paying people to do everything for me. I believe in God providing, and I believe in learning how to do things on your own. I'm kind of like a DIY guy, do it yourself. Really, which is, I should really change it to do it with Jesus. D-I-J. I'm going to coin it. Do it with Jesus. Now, there's a price to pay. I have many cuts and bruises on my hand because of manhandling the engine. But that's the price you pay. You just have to get down. I've gotten my back, sprained and hurt a few times. I've got scars and like little cuts on my hand. But I'd rather have those little scars and cuts on my hand than pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for someone else to work on a car. Those cuts and scars can heal. Yeah, they hurt a little bit. They make my hand look a little bruised up, but it's much better than me spending thousands of dollars on someone else working on my car, especially when I'm a man and I can learn how to do it. And I just wanted to thank God for YouTube University. YouTube University, I know I call it YouTube University, but it's actually just YouTube. And YouTube is a place where you can go and learn almost anything that you're having trouble. Like a couple of times I had to go on YouTube to look at how they did something on the car so that I could just be more educated. Now I can buy other BMWs or buy other cars and put engines in them and fix them and sell it. So it's something that is, when you learn how to do something on your own, not only can you help yourself and help your family, but you can also do a little business on the side. And I think that's the awesome thing. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I've learned how to do online. Like I was able to fix my wife's computer just by looking on YouTube and finding out what I needed to do and buying some parts. I've fixed the screen on my my iPhone before just by on YouTube, looking at YouTube videos and buying the parts and doing it myself. I've helped. I work on my neighbor's cars, and there's a bunch of other stuff that I do, but I guess I don't feel like sitting down here to mention all of them. But I'm just saying that doing things on your own, and like one thing I don't like is going underneath the car. That is one thing I absolutely abhor. So I try my best to make sure that that I do things as safe as possible. And of course, apparently God has put a very healthy fear in me, and so that I can make sure that the car is stable when I go under it, and that everything is safe. Because it's very, 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 very unsafe not to have a lift. Because you know, going under the car, you have to make sure that it is safe to go under the car and the car is stable. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an update. Now I'm about to put some the bolts for the transmission and the bolts for the flywheel. I just have a few left, and I'll give you another update from there, and I'll start putting the car together, start putting the wiring together, and we'll go from there. Thank you for your prayers, and God bless you, and I hope this has encouraged you to get going and kind of doing stuff on your own and saving a lot of money.